Did you know that video games don't actually turn your brain to mush? Strategy, adventure, and puzzle games can actually improve cognitive abilities. This is present as we observe behavioral patterns that occur after playing Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a popular game that came out in 2022. Elden Ring is just one of the games made by the company From Software, who also made the franchise Dark Souls. The things that these games have in common is that they are harder to play than your typical role playing game. People looking to zone out and relax can move right past this one, and so can those who don't have the patience to deal with repeated failure in a game, says Thorin Kowalski. The amount of work that is necessary for these types of games is just one of the reasons why people love them so much. The knowledge and lessons to be learned from games like these can be used in even everyday circumstances. One of the life lessons that we can learn from Elden Ring is patience. Elden Ring is often about watching an enemy, learning its patterns, and then attacking when it's safe, almost like a puzzle, Kowalski says. The difficulty about Souls-like games is one of the more uniquely different game mechanics that sets them apart from typical RPGs or role-playing games. In the game, there are certain levels that affect your character. As you defeat enemies, you receive runes. You can use these runes to purchase the level that you want to upgrade. The more you progress in the storyline, the harder the enemies become. The patience that we learn stems from defeating the bosses of the game. We go in blind and expect to lose so that we may learn the patterns of the boss for the next time that we go in. With this knowledge, we can act this way in our lives. With situations that require patience, we know that waiting and learning is better than going in blindly. Another part of the game that can help you with real life situations is a suggested community. Unlike games such as Breath of the Wild, which have clear systems that you can learn intuitively by playing, Elden Ring systems are obfuscated, and you learn them by either beating your head against the wall or looking them up online, says Kowalski. In the game, there are many things that you have to know. For one example, Melina is one NPC that you meet in the beginning of the game. She asks you if you want to help if you want her help, which you can either refuse or accept. If you accept, you get a horse that you can use to travel around the map, which is huge, or you can refuse, which means that you have to take your journey on foot. You as the player have no idea what you will get from each option before you make your choice. It's decisions like these that require some research from other players who know more because they've played more. These communities of people are essential to playing the game as they give you insight into the choices that you have in terms of gameplay. In real life situations, it is very important to have a community of like minded people that you can communicate with to help you in life. Another crucial life lesson to be learned from Elden Ring is to enjoy the ride. I wasn't daunted by the challenges to come or the thought of how hard the final boss might be. Instead, I celebrated because in that moment I had accomplished something that I didn't think I could a half hour or two later. As I played through Elden Ring, I often forgot the main purpose of playing. I was more enjoying the actual gameplay and the area that I was experiencing. This is Elden Ring, a From Software game in which the appeal ostensibly lies in beating punishing enemies and boss fights. But when presented with such a beautiful melancholic open world and a trusty double jumping spirit horse to navigate it all. Because the world is so huge, each area itself felt like an adventure, and I found myself actually feeling sad as I neared the end of the game. In life, we oftentimes are too stressed focusing on the futures that we forget to slow down and enjoy the present. I like that Elden Ring teaches us that even though the path that we're on is hard and extenuous, that we should take our time and enjoy the present. There are many personal things to learn from Elden Ring. From the storyline to the actual gameplay, there's something to learn for everyone. As I near the end of my speech, I'd like to conclude with this. Although video games seem like a waste of time, there are actually life lessons that we can learn from them. Whether you like shooter games or RPGs, there's always something that you can take away from it. Elden Ring is a beautiful game, not just only in its atmosphere, but in the story and the game mechanics. The game is hard, but you don't care because it's so extraordinary to play a game such as this one. With every quest and adventure, it has you craving more. By the end of the game, you feel accomplished, and maybe even a little sad, because you can say that you put hard work into it. With everything in life, there is a lesson to be learned, especially if it's a challenging situation. If you can, I encourage anyone who has enough patience to try Elden Ring for themselves. You might find your own life lessons in them. Thank you.